So even though I have a dedicated studio for all my photography and videography work, I still basically pack the majority of my stuff with me, just in case an opportunity arises where I feel inspired to shoot something, to, take a photo, take a video, short form content, long form content, whatever it is, I'd like to have my gear with me on standby in case those moments of inspiration do happen. I figured I'd take this opportunity to just show you guys what's actually in my camera bag that I carry around every day with me. So yeah, let's check it out. My backup camera is a Sony a7 IV with a Mikey battery grip. And with this, I also have Peak Design hangers clipped onto the side of the cameras. I forget what these things are called, but they're basically a way for me to put the straps on this camera a lot faster whenever I need to take it out, especially for photography work. And as you can see, the a7 IV has shutter protectors on it. I'm also using a pair of Wasabi batteries with my Mikey camera grip. These are my go-to batteries in my other videos. If you haven't seen them, please check out the other video. If you want to know more about alternative batteries for the Sony a7 IV, this is basically my setup for my a7 IV. The battery grip works great, gives me a couple hours of battery time, and it's been great so far. So next up, I have a Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter lens. This is my wide angle zoom lens. It goes all the way down to f2.8. The image quality on it is just phenomenal. It's extremely sharp. I have a little adapter put onto it just whenever I want to put my filters. It's got a little bit of battle damage on it, but that's part of the job, right? This is basically my wide angle zoom lens that I use for everything. I have a 1/8 bloom filter from K&F, and this is my ND filter. Nothing special, nothing branded, and this is my little cleaner. It's always nice to have one when you want to get the dust off of your lenses, your glass. I have this little brush I got from Best Buy. It was like $5. It's good for cleaning fingerprints, dust, anything that the blower doesn't take care of. So this is basically my little lens kit that I bring with me everywhere. It's great for cleaning lenses, cleaning the glass, and once I clean it all up, I throw my little ND filter on my zoom lens. It's an 82 millimeter one, so it's pretty big and goes all the way up to the highest adapter ring. Aside from the ND filter, I also use this bloom filter. It's a 1/8 from K&F. It's not like the most expensive one, but it does the job. It's actually what I shot the intro with. It helps bring out the highlights and just soften up your image if you don't want the most sharp looking image that kind of shows everybody's kind of imperfections. So this here is a MC11 adapter. It's basically used for adapting Canon lenses, anything with the EF mount. I used to use a lot of Canon glass, but the autofocus and a lot of the features just weren't adapting very well to my Sony, so I started going with Sony native lenses. Next up here is a Sony 50 millimeter lens. It's actually an APS-C lens. I decided to just keep this APS-C one because the FX3 and the a7 IV both shoot in APS-C mode. And next here, I have a FieldWorld 4K field monitor. Nothing fancy. It's like $100 on Amazon when I purchased it at the time. I hooked up some hot shoe mounts to it. I have a couple of adapters hooked onto it, some HDMI adapters hooked up to it. It's got a couple dents in it. I also use Wasabi MPF batteries on it just because they've given me the most bang for my buck and they last a couple hours, especially on a field monitor when you're taking it on the go. And this is my go-to field monitor. It uses a full HDMI port, which is nice because the a7 IV and FX3 are full HDMI now. So yeah, I keep this with me on hand. It's great. Next up is my DJI remote microphone setup system. This is the Generation 1. It's great if you want to capture wireless audio and you don't want a bunch of wires hanging around. Right here is the DJI Mic 2, just the solo mic. I keep this microphone around just because I use it primarily with my DJI Pocket 3. I purchased the DJI Pocket 3 for one reason, which is to be my behind the scenes video camera. If you want a full review on it, definitely check out one of my other videos on it where I go in depth of how I feel about it and what I basically use it for. Next up is the FX3 handle. I would show you the FX3, but I'm shooting with it right now. It basically allows you to hook up audio sources to it. I also put a couple hot shoes on it just to give me multiple mounting points, especially if I want to hook up an additional mic. It has a microphone holder as well if you have a shotgun mic. Yeah, pretty straightforward. And next here, I have my Godox receiver. It's basically used to connect to all of my Godox flashes. And next up is my Asus laptop. It doesn't have as many ports as I wanted to. Unfortunately, it only has one USB-C port and one USB-A 3.0 port, a single HDMI on it. But it is nice that it's fully touchscreen. It's completely foldable. It works like a tablet. It's just very versatile and it's a workhorse, which is what I need it for, primarily for video editing. This is basically my carry around laptop that I use for the majority of my studio work. And last but not least, my primary video camera, which is the Sony FX3. The image is super sharp. It's an easy to use camera for people who just want to shoot basic video. And it's also a great camera camera. For professionals, this camera has been an absolute beast. I think it was worth every single penny that I put into it. So yeah, that's about everything I put inside of my backpack. I hope it kind of gave you an insight of what it is I carry with me every day to and from the studio, wherever and whenever I'm shooting or whatever gigs I'm doing. That's basically what I kind of carry around with me. Now, do keep in mind that you don't need all of this equipment to be a professional photographer or videographer or content creator. It's just the preference that I have, and it's the equipment that I like to have around because I like having as much coverage as possible. Because at the end of the day, like, all of this stuff they're all just tools. They're used to create content. You know, you just got to find the right tools to help you get the job done. So yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you're looking to buy any of the equipment that I have listed out, please use my affiliate links down below, as it helps me grow this channel and put a couple coins in my piggy bank just to basically, you know, support the cause. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you made it this far, thank you very much. And if you're looking for more informative videos, check out my channel, check out some of the videos that I've made, and yeah, hopefully it helps you along your photography, videography, creative, artistic studio journey. And until next time, this has been your boy Fong over here at FL Productions, and I'm out. Peace.